Feels like my setting is all fucked up. I don't have much time, but... Hi, my name is Jonas, this is Sublime Media, and on this channel I talk about records and record-related stuff. Today I'm gonna go out of my comfort zone a little bit and talk about two different pressings of the same record. And what record are we talking about? Well, it's Miles Davis again with Filles De Kilimanjaro. The girls from Kilimanjaro, I think it's translated to. So we have two different pressings today that we are going to talk about. The first one is the US 1977 press on Columbia Records. And the 2023 version of MoFi's 2 LP 45 RPM monster of this. So I know what you're saying. I mean, people are screaming at their phone right now saying that this is an unfair shootout, and it is. I mean, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, and this is a spoiler alert, the MoFi just hits it out of the park. But I'm going to tell you why it does, and also how good this sounds. But first, cue music. So, I mean, Miles 1968, this is the last recording of the fantastic second quintet that he had. And some of the tracks, I think 2 tracks, he replaces the bass and the piano with Chick Corea and Dave Holland. So you have Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, Tony Williams, Wayne Shorter, and Miles on trumpet. I won't talk much more about the music because we all love this record. I think that many of you know about it, and if you don't, you can check that out for yourself. This is mainly a video that is going to talk about the differences in the different pressings. And as I said in the beginning, this is an unfair shootout because you have a 45 RPM against a repress from the late 70s. I mean, what were I thinking? But then again, it's also a matter of price. I mean, you can get that for maybe 20 euro, and the other one is a 70 euro record. And without knowing too much, I think this is pretty equal to the stuff that you hear today when it comes to like music on vinyl and other reissue sort of labels. So what it's really about is ordinary issue up against audiophile issue, and I thought that would be pretty interesting to see. So the cover artworks, yeah, there are differences definitely. You have a much more sort of lighter picture here, brighter picture than on the 77 reissue. I feel like you have a little bit more detail in the MoFi, but it doesn't feel that much alive if you compare it. This is much more alive in my opinion. The mystery around the artwork that goes on gets a little bit lost in this newly sort of printed jacket. And taking a look at the back side, you have the classic MoFi down here, and in the middle just liner notes, compared to the 77 press where you have some commercials from the stuff. But I think that it's the front that is the most important one in this case. Inside of the gatefold, I have to say, a little bit disappointing. I mean, I guess that they didn't have any sort of session photos or stuff like that. You only have some information and that's it. So there's two. I'd rather have a gatefold than one single sleeve where you put 2 records in, obviously. But hey man, they could do something. I mean, this is just lazy, isn't it? So let's start by talking about the 77 issue. I mean, it starts out pretty good. You have high expectations when you drop the needle because it's a pretty wide soundstage, but that will fool you because it's pencil thin. And what I mean about that is when you sit in front of the speakers, it's like a linear sort of width. So you don't have any depth, you don't have any height at all. It's just right in front of you like a carpet almost, but pencil thin. And it's pretty okay sort of details. You can hear each and every instrument pretty good, and there is some air around the instrument. You can feel that the instrument is there breathing, having some space between the instrument, the musician, and the next one. And in this case, this is a stereo, both of them are, and you have the drums to the right and the piano to the left, and they work pretty good in the background, sort of. The bass is non-existing, like there is no bass at all. You can't hear the bass. So if the drums is to the right and the and the piano is to the left, the bass is in the basement or in closest town somewhere. What I feel is the worst thing here is actually the drums. The drums are so laid back and so sort of compressed, almost like muffled, to the point where it sometimes just gets to be grit of it all. Like it's just a lump of sound to the right. And then the horns kicking, and yeah, Miles is there. He is in the center-ish, and then you go to when we hear Wayne Shorty coming in with the saxophone, he's also there. They are the main men. I think the horns in this case is the best sounding. If it has to do anything with the recordings, I don't know, but they are the main men and they are leading, sort of, they are driving the bus. I mean, they are not too harsh and pretty sort of in main stage. So let's go to this. This is the MoFi edition. It was mastered by Craig Wunderlich at MoFi in-house. I think it was pressed by RTI, like everything else by MoFi. It's mastered from the original master tape, but we all know that it is the master tape to the DSD, so it's a digital master. And on this one, it's actually the first time I see the sort of the information or the proof of the DSD here on the back side. The other MoFis that I haven't got those. Numbered edition stereo, I think that's it. To the sound, I mean, this is, as soon as you drop the needle, it's dead quiet as always when it comes to MoFi. It's like night and day compared to the 77 Press. I mean, this is so much more engaging in every sort of aspect to the sound. The music, I feel, is much more alive, and there are much more sort of space between every single musician. And compared to the 77 issue, I mean, here you have good sounding bass, not thumping, not overwhelming, not that sort of canned bass. It's the perfect sort of jazz bass here. The horns is the main man here too, but they are distinct. They are their own instruments, and even if they really stand out of the sort of stage, the picture, they never get too harsh. You never get tired of listening to the trumpet or the saxophone, which in some cases with jazz, if you have listened to like an hour, 2 hour of just screeching saxophone, it's a little bit overwhelming to the ears. And when it comes to the piano, the drums, I mean, here is where the MoFi shines, because you have the piano a little bit to the left behind the main men, but every single keystroke is just perfect. You can hear every single sort of nuance out of the piano. And I mean, when it comes to the drums, it's just insane. Again, a little bit behind on the right side from the musicians, and you can hear sort of the wood from the drumstick just hit that cymbal. Like really, you can hear the impact of the material hitting another material. It's just like, so overall, I mean, you have guessed it now. This is a clear winner when it comes to these two. We knew that already, but we didn't know how much of a winner it is, and it is. So this is maybe more of a review of the MoFi edition. I have to say, I think that these 45s are, when it comes to the Miles catalog, what of the stuff that I have heard, this is the way to go. And it would be cool to hear a 33 RPM and compare that. I know that the Bitches Brew One Step is coming out Would be cool to hear that too and compare. But come on, we are talking about small details here. I don't think that it's going to be like a mind-blowingly much better experience with that, like we had on this one. I mean, I could never keep this copy after listening to the MoFi. I'm done with this. This sounds terrible. This is how the music should be represented. So, I mean, you pay premium, but you get premium sound. And I guess that's all that matters in the end of the day. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, please comment down below. I mean, I would love to have a conversation about the other pressings of this that you know about. I mean, an original press, the 33 RPM press, so forth. So just shoot me a comment. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.